Hi and welcome. I have prepared a great class for you today. We're focusing on legs and hips. Standing postures, some teachers say, are a great way to start a yoga practice. However, if you're a beginner, I would recommend to concentrate on static postures first. In this class, we will do a lot of repetitions. Most important than anything is that you focus on form rather than number of repetitions. So if you have a good shape, you're on a good way to go. If you do less reps, don't worry, take a break. Slowly, if you repeat this sequence with time, you will get stronger and your form will always be good. So listen to the indications, listen to your body, try to perform the correct form and make sure that you enjoy the class. So let's start. First of all, take a comfortable sitting posture. Make sure that you're sitting tall, roll your shoulders a couple of times, back a couple of times. Make sure that your head is not being pulled forward. We tend to do this a lot, working on our phones. So make sure your head goes slightly back, right between your shoulders. The back of the neck is nice and long. Face nice and relaxed. Arms nice and relaxed. Close your eyes. And bring the attention to the movement of your breath. Observe your breath coming in and go out. Then bring the attention to the sensation in your palms. Feel your palms, your fingers. Feel your arms and shoulders. Feel your neck, the throat, feel the face and the head. Become aware of your spine, the length of your spine. Feel your back muscles. Feel your chest. Feel how your breath moves inside your chest. Feel your abdomen. Now feel your hips. Feel the hips touching the ground. Feel the thighs and the legs. The feet and the toes. And then feel your whole body. From head to toes, become aware of your whole body. Place your palms together. Rub the palms to get some energy and heat in your palms. And then place your palms in a prayer position in front of your heart. Take a couple of slightly longer and deeper breaths. We're going to sing 3 long ohms together. As you sing the ohm, visualize this sound rising from the base of your spine, reaching the top of your head. And as it rises, feel the sound vibrate your whole body. Great. So now we're going to come to sit between our heels. Separate the knees. Fold gently. Arms in front, rest your head. Take a couple of deep breaths here. As you inhale, bring yourself up. Come to hands and knees. Your heels, the heel of your hand under your shoulder, each one. Your knees under your hips and your spine nice and long. Splay your fingers and pressing through the inner hand, index and thumbs, turn the biceps towards the front of your mat. From here, we're going to move back and forth to give some movement to the wrists and the hips. Don't forget to breathe consciously. I recommend to breathe in and out through the nose. However, sometimes breathing out through the mouth, it might help you relax if you feel a little bit exerted or tense. Always feels good, exhaling through the mouth. Now from here, we're going to bring shoulders over wrists and extend the legs, coming to a plank, and straight away, send the hips back into the downward dog. Make sure your hands are shoulder width, and if you feel a little stuck on your shoulders, go a little wider. From here, push your chest towards your toes. Then we're going to walk on the spot, one heel down, the other up. Breathing consciously. Good. Then heels equal distance to the floor. From here, we're going to bounce the chest back and forth. And then we're going to flutter. So one shoulder goes forward as the other goes back, like a duck. Then we hold still for a couple of moments, breathing nice and deep. And then with an exhalation, we're going to step at the front of the mat. As many steps as you need. Feet slightly apart. I like to have a fist between my feet. It is a little easier to fold, and we're going to bring the belly to touch the thighs. So bend the knees as much as you need so you can rest your belly on your thighs. Relax your head. Keeping the connection, I'm going to start to send the hips towards the sky. And with a breath in, you're going to come all the way up with rounded back. Head comes up last. Shoulders back, palms facing forward. Inhale. And exhale. I'm going to do a couple of sun salutations to warm up before the sequence. So on the inhale, reach your arms up, lift your chest, press through your feet to get you taller. And exhale, fold. Relax your head. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, place your hands down or your fingers and take your left leg back all the way. Lower your knees, point the toes. On the inhale, send the hips forward, lift your chest, lift your arms. Exhale, lower the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift your knee, step back to downward dog. Inhale. And as you exhale, come into plank. Lower the knees if you need to, and keeping your arms closed by your side, lower to the floor. Point the toes, inhale to cobra. Strong legs and arms, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, extend the left leg back. Reach far. And exhale, step. If you need, take your hand, bring the foot forward. Lower the knee, point the toes, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower the hands and step at the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, up. Lift your chest and exhale, fold again. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, right leg back, far back, lower the knee. Point the toes, come up, inhale. Hips forward, chest and arms up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Knees or toes lower. Inhale to cobra. Shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower the hands, step at the front of your mat. Inhale, come up. And exhale, fold. From here, you're going to place the hands on the floor, step back to downward dog, and take a couple of breaths. On the inhale, come into plank. On the exhale, lower. Point the toes, strong legs and arms, lift up, come into cobra. Hold here for a few breaths. You can shuffle here the shoulders if it feels good. Look to the right. Look to the left. Come to center. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So let's start with the first sequence. Excuse me. We're going to lift the left leg, but we're going to lift the leg from the inner thigh. So if you feel like you're lifting from the outer thigh, you're going to try and lift your hip as well, but don't lift your hip. So feel that you're lifting the leg from the inner thigh. Point the toes and reach. On the exhale, we're going to tap the floor with the toes. We're going to do 20 rounds. 2, 10, 2 more. Good. Remember you're in downward dog, so keep your chest open. Don't send your chest forward. Keep your chest open and try to keep the pose. Just the right leg. Now the right leg, just the right leg moving. Inhale. Exhale, lower. 1. 10. 2 more. 1 and 2. Coming to child pose. And take a couple of breaths. With an inhale, bring yourself up. Take your palms together, and then move your hands in circles. Change direction. Good. Second round, second exercise, table pose. Remember to keep the weight on the inside of your hand, index and thumbs. Keep the external rotation of the arms. Keep your spine long. We're going to extend the left arm and the right leg. As you reach, don't let your belly sink in and your lower back arch. Tuck your pelvis, press your core, engage, and lift. Yeah? And from here, on the exhale, knee and elbow cross at the center. We do 20. 5. 10. 15. 20. Right arm goes in front. External rotation of the arm, palm facing in. Tuck your pelvis, engage your core. Lift the opposite leg. Reach. Inhale. Exhale 20 rounds. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch. Ten. and 20. Sit in child's pose and rest. And then bring yourself up. Don't forget to own your class. What I mean is, if you need to move slowly, so that you keep the technique, move slower. Good. Shake your arms, crisscross them in front. Now we're going to lie on one side. You can rest on your forearm, excuse me, or on the upper arm, and use the top arm to help you balance. Have the front of your body slightly in a concave shape, so you're not releasing your core. Keep your core tight, bend your knee, your top leg, but don't take it all the way into your hip, kind of halfway. Then from here, we're going to exhale to open, inhale to close 20 times. Ten. 20. Extend the leg, inhale, exhale, lift it up 20 times. 1, 2, 5 more. 10. Good. Remember, if you're wobbling, try to move slower so that you're controlling the move and the shape of the body. Let's do the other side. Roll into the other side. Rest on your upper arm or on your forearm. Bend your leg. Open to exhale. Lower to inhale. Ten more. 'Extend the leg, inhale, extend, open 20 times. 1, 20. Roll to the floor. On the knees or on the toes, squeeze your arms, lift your hips just a little, and then lift your hips in your chest at the same time. Come to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. Now from here, come to sit, and then lie on your back. Bring your heels under your knees and see that your feet are to the width of your hips, not wider. Your toes pointing forward, heels pointing back, arms by the side. So getting used to this movement is very important, so make sure you do it slowly until you can move smoothly. With an inhale, you're going to lift your hips, lower back, middle back, coming to your shoulders. With an exhale, you're going to lower upper back, middle back, lower back, and hips. So an undulating motion, 20 times. Inhale, exhale, lower. Ten more. 10. Straight away, take your left knee into your chest. I'm going to do it with just the right leg 20 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1, 10 more. Other side. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 1. 5 more. And rest. Don't forget, breathing is super important. You need that oxygen to get it into your muscles. Come to sit. Take a breather here. Then come into downward dog. I'm going to step the left foot between the hands. Lower the knee. And come up. Keep the toes tucked under. Now, if you have an injury on your knee, keep your knee over your ankle and don't bring it forward. If your knee is absolutely fine and that it's not sensitive, then we're going to go all the way forward. And then from this position, we're going to slide the back leg until you get a good stretch. Make sure that your shin is parallel to the line of your mat. You're going to bring yourself up. So knee forward if you have a healthy knee, knee back if it's injured or if it's sensitive. And don't forget to put something under the other if it hurts. We're going to inhale here, and the exhale we're going to come up. So if your knee is over the ankle, we're going to extend the leg, try to maintain this front leg bend. If your knee is forward, as you come up, as you extend the back leg, keep your leg as forward as possible. This is going to keep the load on the quad, and it's going to create great tension. Good for the exercise. Inhale down, exhale up. When you lower, try to not touch the floor with your knee again. Go for 20. Inhale, exhale. Ten more. Good. Lower the hands. Step back. Take your right foot forward. Come into the pose. One thing very important here. Make sure your ankle is not wobbling. Your knee is not wobbling. Everything together, nice and strong. Go forward if your knee is okay. Tuck the toes under, the back toes under. Make sure you're upright as much as possible. Inhale down. Exhale up, 20 rounds. Ten more. Good. Lower the hands, step back, downward dog. Or child's pose if you prefer. Take a few breaths. And then come to sit. So I have this felt here. You can use your sock, just put on your sock. I'm going to fold them out to make space. What I want really is a slippery surface that I can slide my foot on. So I'm going to take the left leg in front, and I'm going to extend the leg. So make sure your hips are facing the front of your mat. Make sure your back shin is parallel to the mat, to the line of your mat. And make sure that also your front leg is not locked at the knee. So don't push the back of the knee towards the floor. Tense your left quads. So that is a very small bend on the knee, probably not noticeable visually, but you can feel it because the muscles on that leg are strong and firm, and this will protect your knee, not just at the front but also at the back. Now, if you can't touch the floor, I have 2 bricks here. It is important that you stay upright so you don't collapse from your hips, from your chest. So chest lifted, shoulders back, nice and straight at the back. And when you extend the leg, don't let your hip go with the leg. So keep the left hip back and the right hip forward. You might feel you get more of the stretch when you open up, but in fact, keeping the hips firm and facing the front will improve your stretching. So hands on a higher surface if you need. If you don't have bricks, something similar, or hands to the floor if you can. We're going to do another 20 like so. So this leg remains straight throughout. When we inhale, we reach forward. On the exhale, we pull back. 20 times. Ten more. Then we come here and we hold. Lift up. If the back of your knee hurts, tense more your quads. Deep breaths. And then slowly release. Then we change. Right leg in front. Right leg straight, left leg bent. Hip of a knee to start with. Fall from the hips and find the ground. If you can't reach the ground, use something. Inhale to extend. Exhale to come back. Do it slowly to get more awareness of the pose. Otherwise, at my speed. Ten more. Reaching far. 2 more. 1 and 2 and hold. Remember, tight on the quads. Left glute also tight. Breathing in, breathing out. And then slowly come out of the pose. Take your mat open again. Downward dog. A couple of times, couple of breaths. Now step your left foot forward. Turn the right foot back to the floor, heel to the floor, and come into warrior 2. So let me just show you from this angle here. They say heel in line with the arch of your back foot. I would recommend heel in line with your heel. Or even more, if your hip is sticking out because of lack of flexibility of it, then take your right foot or your back foot further out towards the side. So the hip is in place. Yeah? It will be a little more open and it will help you for balance too. Now, when you go forward, as we're going to go in this pose, see that your hip doesn't stick out. See, if I stick my hip out, I can really go as far as I want it, really. You want to keep your hips in place, and then you want to go down as far as it's comfortable without dropping your hip to the side. So find the right distance for you to go. And I would put a stopper that will tell me, okay, this is how far I need to go, no further than that. Maybe even here. If my hip starts to stick out on this side, then I'll put a stopper to know where I am. Good. So from this side now, we're going to keep the legs in place as they are. Extend the arms. We're going to reach the right hand towards the right shin, left arm extending up, front of the body, the left side of the body extending, and on the exhale, we're going to lean forward and then point the arms, floor into the sky, and reach. Yeah? We're going to do 20. Inhale, exhale. Ten more. Back to center, take a deep breath, and exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, turn the back foot to the floor, and come up. Remember, heel to heel, or maybe left foot even further out. And as much as as much as available for you, legs remain firm, just the upper body moves, okay? Arms open, find your breath. And then on the inhale, we reach towards the back. On the exhale, we reach towards the front. Awareness to the position of the legs and the hips. Okay? 20 times. Ten more. Two more. Center. Inhale, open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Lower to your knees. So just a review. For these standing poses, the strength of the pose comes more towards the back leg. So make sure the legs stay straight, strong, pushing with the back foot. So now we're going to come into a horse stance. Give your legs a shake if you need. I need it. With a horse stance, the important thing is that your knees point in the same direction of your middle toes. So it is easier to turn the toes out, but harder to turn the knees out. So negotiate with your body so that the knees are pointing towards the middle toes. Now, another thing that may happen, if you're a little stiff on the hips, is as you sink yourself into the pose, your tailbone starts to stick back. Pubic bone drops. What you want is to tuck the pelvis, tailbone pointing down, pubic bone lifting, core tight, knees in the direction of the middle toes. Yeah? So once you find the pose, I'm going to take the right hand, I'm mirroring you, the right hand to the inner thigh. You're going to push We're going to lean towards the other side. And then we do the same on the other. We repeat one more time. Then we come back. Remember, tuck your pelvis. You can have the arms in front or in a prayer position. You're going to sink down as much as possible. And then from here, you're going to do small pulses. You're going to do 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ten more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Point the toes forward, fold, move about. Come to sit on your heels. Catch up with your breath. Good. Now we're going to do a variation of the horse stance. Well, I see it as a variation of the horse stance. One leg is extended, the other foot is on the floor, and you sink all the way towards your heel. Now, if you find yourself stuck that you can sink more, flexibility of the ankle. Maybe you're lacking a little bit of that. So maybe open a little bit more and go as far down as you can. Sit up as straight as possible. If your heel lifts off the floor, it's okay. I would, however, recommend, if you want to develop the flexibility of that heel, of that ankle, to go as lower as you can. Don't worry about going all the way down. So we go from one side to the other side. What happens to the extended leg? The knee wants to point to the sky. The thigh wants to externally rotate, toes pointing up. Yeah, we're going to go for 20, 10 to each side. Inhale down, exhale up. 1. 2 more. Then we hold here, take a couple of breaths. We move to the other side. Take a few breaths. Then come to center, turn the toes to point forward. Fold. Move about, if you like. Good. Coming to downward dog. Child pose. Back to downward dog. Now we're going to step the left foot forward. Coming to a high lunge. See what I did there? Right foot goes slightly to the right to make the pose wider, to make you more stable. Your back heel wants to point straight up. Strong on this front leg, strong on the back leg, standing up tall. From here, we're going to lean forward a little, bring the weight into the front foot, stand up, take the knee up to the height of the hip. If you can, you can also extend the leg. From here, we bend the knee, lean forward, bend the standing leg a little, step back into the lunge. You can use your arms if you want as well. Inhale here, and as you exhale, you go in front. Go for 20. Ten more. Lunge, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Take a few breaths. If you prefer child pose for a resting pose, that's good too. Then right foot goes forward. Left foot goes slightly to the left. And you come up. So you know the game. If you want to use the arms, you can use the arms, otherwise hands can stay by the hips if you prefer, or just hanging by the side, or maybe out to help you control the balance. You lean forward, bring the weight to your front foot, stand up tall, take the knee to the height of the hip, maybe engage and extend the leg, then you rebend, bend the standing leg, find the floor, stand up, 20 times. Ten more. Inhale here, exhale, lower the hands, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Lower the knees. If you have not already, come to sit. Take a couple of deep breaths. Now, those two movements require a lot of balance. If you lack balance, start nice and easy. Static pose. Inner ankle bone lifting, reaching towards the outside, base of the big toe on the floor, base of the pinky toe on the floor, center on your heel, of your heel on the floor, and then take your knee up. Some people who do slack line, friend recommended to do this. Just have the arms bent. It's an assault. So it's easier to balance. And then from a static posture, then you can develop movement through the pose. So from downward dog, you're going to take it a little further. You're going to step your left foot between the hands, come into a lunge, right foot to the right, bring yourself up. So this pose, we already know. Knee in front or leg in front. Let's review the next pose. So you're going to step your right foot back and be aware of your hip. Make sure your right hip is not opening. So keep the right hip forward, and then from here, you're gonna lift the leg. Now, straight line from the back toes or the heel to the top of your head. Now, as the leg lifts, your trunk lowers. You can, if you want, bend the standing leg a little. As the leg lifts, the trunk lowers. Don't lower your chest if your leg doesn't lift. Concentrate on having awareness of the pose. So if the pose looks like this, or looks like this, or looks like this, it's not really so much important as much as having awareness of the position in which you're in, nice and straight. So let's start. So leg in front, bend or straight, that's the exhale. The inhale, you rebend the knee and you extend the leg. I'm thinking 20, but I don't know if I can do 20, so let's see. Inhale, exhale. Ten more, perhaps. Step back, inhale, and exhale. Really, when you're put on the spotlight, you do the best you can. So always do the best you can, but if you're losing shape, did you see I was starting to lose the shape? My ankle was starting to twist, wobble. Better to take a break. Right leg goes forward. Left foot goes slightly to the left. Come up. So you know the guidelines. Make sure when you come up, you're standing strong, core tight, reaching through the top of your head, leg in front, bent or straight. And when you take the leg back, don't move your hip. And don't worry about how high the leg goes. Obviously, concentrate on lifting high, but concentrate more on keeping straight line. We go for 20. Inhale here. Exhale, count that as 1. Concentration will also take you a long way. Five more. Lunge, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. From here, maybe to child's pose. Do need that child pose. Then slowly come up. A little tip for balance, whether it is static or moving. I was focusing at a point in front of me on the floor. People recommend in front, right in front. I don't think it really matters. Looking high, I think is best. But because in this pose we were moving back and forth, I don't know, I chose a spot about 1.5 meters in front of me on the floor, and then I concentrate on that spot, and focusing my gaze there helps me maintain the balance. Good? So let's give the shakes a little leg. Our legs a little shake. We're going to go for the last rounds. I did a class on how to do a squat, so we're going to go for squats here. If you haven't seen that video, please have a look at it. So the roll mat that I have here is to help me lift the heels. So how does that work? It is difficult to do a nice clean squat with the feet flat on the floor. So some of us might need to have something to help us lift. The position of the legs is as follows. Some people do the squat like this, nice and wide, toes pointing out. Nothing wrong with that. But I would recommend for this one, feet hip width apart, heels pointing straight back, toes pointing straight forward. Press the feet on the floor, the heels on the floor, lower your hips, keep your chest lifted, come down. Now for me, this is quite easy. So I'm gonna take a few rolls off. You wanna find the right distance for you. So remember, toes forward, heels pointing straight back, feet hip width apart. We're gonna do 4 rounds of 20. And we're gonna have different variations of the arms that will give us different difficulties. So if you find it difficult, just stick with the first variation, which is arms in front. So remember, you come up with your chest, you come down with your butt. And we exhale to lift. Why? Because exhaling gives us a little bit more power. If you prefer to do it on an inhale, somebody taught you how to do it on an inhale, that's good, it's up to you. I feel like exhaling gives me a little bit more power to lift, although I have done it with an inhale too. So first variation, arms in front. So for just the last tip, when you come down and up, most important is technique. So don't sink your inner ankles, don't let them sink in. Keep them lifted, keep your arches lifted, and make sure your knees move in the direction of your middle toes. Sometimes when you come down, they sink. Sometimes when you come up, they sink in. Always in the direction of your middle toes. Your foundation is what's on the floor. So your foundation are your feet, your ankles, your knees. From there, you look at the rest of the pose. Moving up with your chest, moving down with your hips. 20 rounds. Ten more. Good. Take a little breather. I think that one thing that can help is to lift one leg and shake it. And the other. Don't be afraid or ashamed to do less or to move slowly. Remember technique, form, most important. Second variation of the arms. Shoulders, touch your shoulders across, lift your elbows. This will help you keep your chest lifted. Okay, for 20. Remember, powerful breaths. Power through your breath. Ten more. Move about. One thing that might also help is to move your hips in circles. Whew. If what you're looking is to get leaner thighs, leaner hips, leaner butt, obviously doing a powerful sequence will help you. But more than anything, really, you have to look at what you're eating. There's no amount of exercise that will compensate for shitty food. So make sure you have a healthy diet. And also, working On an empty stomach, meaning when you have fasted, so first thing in the morning, it will be a best way to help the body through the exercise burn that fat that is stored in the body. So exercising, eating well, exercising first thing in the morning will help you burn out. Also, make sure if you're doing this every single day, make sure you rest. At least minimum 1 day, because the body will need time to recover. And make sure you sleep well. Good 8 hours sleep, maybe more. If you're doing a lot of workout, don't be afraid to sleep a lot. Body needs that. Third round, hands overhead, touch shoulders across opposite sides, lift the elbows, 20 rounds. Five more. Good. Remember, it gets a little harder with the changing form of the arms. If you need it easier, arms in front. And if you hold this doesn't weigh much, but if you hold the weight in front, it will compensate and it will help you squat a lot easier, or a little easier. So let's go for the last round. Fingers interlaced, thumbs as well, pressing the palms together, index fingers pointing, extend the arms, external rotation of the arms, hug your ears, and reach up. Lift your chest, check the alignment of your feet. 20 rounds, inhale down, and exhale up. Ten more. Good. We did it. From here, I'm going to lie on your back. Take your knees to your chest. Rolling on the back of your head helps you soften your neck. And then move your knees in circles. Change direction. Now, and I really recommend that you come in and lie on your back for minimum of 7 minutes, or maybe even minimum 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes will help your body restore that energy. Extend the legs, separate your feet to the corners of your mat, separate your arms, palms facing up. Take a deep breath through the nose, long and deep, nice and slow. Open the mouth, let it go through the mouth. One more time. Exhale, letting go. Feeling your body relax. One more time. Bring your lips to touch very lightly. And surrender to the movement, to the natural movement of your breath. Observe your breath as it moves freely through your nose. And with every exhalation, feel your body melting on the floor. Arms melting, your face and your head melting. shoulders, hips, legs and feet.